The light that changed us. In the quiet town of Eldridge Hollow, shadows danced under the pale glow of the moon, entwining with the whispering leaves of the ancient trees that lined the narrow streets. The night was heavy with an unsettling stillness, a silence so profound that it felt as if the world itself was holding its breath. It was on such a night that the unimaginable unfolded, forever embedding the haunting image into the hearts of those who bore witness. Under the hazy glow of a sputtering street lamp, a lone figure ambled down Mill Street. Her name was Leela, a girl of 17, whose dark, wavy hair framed an oval face and bright blue eyes filled with an insatiable curiosity. The night air was crisp, carrying the scent of wet earth and distant pine, but Leela hardly noticed. She had often escaped into the night, enchanted by the intoxicating allure of the stars. Yet, this time felt different, charged with an electricity that made her skin prickle. As she rounded the corner, a strange flicker caught her attention. At first, it appeared to be a distant light twinkling high above the treetops, but as she approached the clearing by the old cemetery, it grew larger, pulsating with an otherworldly rhythm. The vibrant white light beckoned her, swirling in patterns that made her heart race with both fear and fascination. "Just a trick of the mind," she whispered, trying to rationalize the pull she felt toward the blinding brilliance. But something deep within her rebelled against that logic. Entranced, she took a step, then another, until she was standing at the edge of the clearing, the green grass cool against her bare feet. Suddenly, the light intensified, illuminating everything in its path. Shadows elongated and twisted grotesquely, and a low hum filled the air, a sonorous vibration that resonated deep within her bones. Leela's breath quickened, adrenaline surged as her instinct screamed at her to run, yet she remained petrified, the light wrapping around her like silken tendrils, coaxing her forward. Then, as if drawn on an invisible thread, Leela was lifted from the ground. It was not a sensation of fear, but strangely euphoric. As if gravity had momentarily forgotten her, she floated upward, her surroundings fading into obscurity. Trees, stars, and the familiar landmarks of Eldridge Hollow slipped away, swallowed by the brilliance above. Leela found herself aboard a vessel of gleaming silver, surrounded by a sterile, metallic hue that felt strangely alive. Shadows flickered in the periphery, and forms began to materialize. They were towering figures, their skin translucent with iridescent textures that refracted the light around them. Eyes, like black voids, pierced through her, unnerving and unblinking, and in that chilling gaze, Leela felt her very essence being dissected. Voices resonated in her mind, not through sound, but through an invasion of thoughts. Fear gripped Leela, but a profound stillness soon followed. Information flooded into her consciousness, the countless worlds and realities, their knowledge stretching beyond the confines of Earth. She struggled, desperate to escape, to fight back against the deluge of alien thoughts, but it enveloped her, swirling like a tempest in the depths of her mind. And then, they spoke. Their words formed images, terrifying glimpses into their purpose for her. They had not come to harm, but to collect, to understand the fragile mechanics of human emotion and thought for their own benevolent research. Yet, the coldness of their gaze suggested an ominous intent. The experience was temporal, but it felt like an eternity. Just when the terror reached its zenith, Leela was released. The world reconvened around her as she was thrust back to the ground, collapsing onto the dew-kissed grass at the edge of the clearing where it had all begun. Gasping for breath, Leela scrambled to her feet, panic-stricken and dizzy. The luminous beacon was gone, swallowed by the vast night sky. She raced home, her heart thundering in her chest. But as she crossed the threshold of her house, she realized something had changed. Memories splintered in her mind, fractured visions of unknown planets, and eerie laughter that echoed in the void. Days turned to weeks, and Leela struggled to reconnect with her normal life. Friends noticed the shift in her. She spoke in hollow tones, her laughter now a rarity. At night, she lay awake, haunted by dreams of the stars and those endless black eyes, the whispers lingering in the corners of her mind. And every time she looked at the shimmering sky, a piece of her soul sank deeper into its darkness. For she now knew a dreadful truth. They were watching, always watching, waiting for the moment to call her back to the vessel of silver and light that would once again strip her of her humanity. With every passing night, the pulse of the light throbbed just beneath her skin, and Leela understood that it wasn't merely an abduction, it was the beginning of something far more terrifying, for they had claimed a part of her, and she was forever tethered to the stars.